Rapper Young Miami's name came up quite a bit today in court. The defense showed a text message where Jane was clearly upset by the fact that there was a public display of Young Miami and Combs' relationship. Specifically in February of 2022, right after celebrating her birthday with Combs, Jane testified that social media images that she saw of Combs with Young Miami on a yacht in Turks and Caicos made her angry. Because of that, she sent a text message to Combs, which was entered into court as an exhibit. And in that text message, she threatens to call off any hotel nights if he does not get off that island. She said it was the first time she, quote, pulled that card. The defense showed that there were a number of periods of time that went by where Jane and Combs did not perform in any hotel nights. There were also a number of texts that we heard today from Jane where she set up the hotel nights, helped to set up the payments for them, and even purchased supplies for the escorts. Jane also said at one point in court, "I resent him," referring to Combs, "for knowing how much I loved him and knowing I could not say no to him."
This situation is getting crazy. This Diddy situation, this court stuff, man. Every time these women get on the stand and they get cross-examined, they being made to look as a fool. Now, we know that Cassie, a lot of women was online saying that she was groomed. He groomed her since she was 19 years old. It's just at 19, you're stupid and can't make no decisions for yourself. I disagree, because a 19-year-old boy, when he makes horrible decisions at 19, he gets held accountable. I mean, you know, he can go into the military and possibly die. There's a lot of things that he can do at 19 years old where he's going to be held accountable for the decisions that he makes. So the same should apply in a free society to a woman. I'm not trying to hear that, right? Now, let's get to the Jane Doe. The Jane Doe situation, now she's testifying in court now, which is Daphne Joy, that she was jealous of Young Miami because Young Miami wasn't getting treated like all the other women. Young Miami didn't have to do the FOs, right? She wasn't being called in or paid to do the FOs, right? Now, we know that the little Cambodian girl he had, the Daphne Joy, the Cassie, all these little mixed women, they was doing it. So now I'm hearing a lot of women say, well, he was doing that to them, but not to the black woman, because Young Miami wasn't going for it. Young Miami comes from the same culture he comes from, and she wasn't having it, right? So now that's the argument that's being spread all over social media. But the news was reporting this, right? The play-by-play that was going on in the courtroom while she was on the stand, saying how jealous she was of the attention that he was giving Young Miami. But then we also got the phone conversations that he was having with Daphne, right? And listen to this weird stuff that he was saying. And after we, just check this out.
Well, Stephen, Natasha, Diddy's ex-girlfriend for hire, going under the pseudonym Jane, was on the hot seat today under cross-examination, providing more details about her business and sex relationship with Diddy, and really getting into her jealousy that Diddy was showing a lot of attention and going public with rapper Young Miami, treating her more like a secret side chick than a real girlfriend. Now, Mrs. Janice Combs was leaving court this afternoon with 3 of Combs' sons after sitting through all of this testimony today. This afternoon, they all sat through the cross-examination of alleged victim Jane, who had a business arrangement with Diddy for sex. They called it a love contract, but clearly she wanted it to be more. On the stand, there was a tissue box to soak up her tears, as she's had in previous days, but today was more about anger and jealousy. Jane talked about her growing envy of rapper Young Miami of City Girls fame around the time she was with Combs between 2021 and 2023. Young Miami made a splash on the hip-hop scene as part of the City Girls duo, and was soon seen at clubs, parties, and out in public, even at one award show with Diddy. Jane testified that she was jealous of Diddy buying her and other women expensive designer bags. She did not want to have what she calls a hidden relationship with Combs. Jane lost her composure under questioning from Diddy attorney Tenny Garagos when asked if she knew how much one of those bags cost. Jane snapped back, how much does my body cost? But she had made a financial agreement for sex with Combs. He was and still is paying the $10,000 a month rent on her 5,300 square foot LA home. She also said that he gave her thousands more for furniture and veneers, trips, and even $20,000 to start her own clothing business. Now, there were also some extremely graphic text messages from Jane to Diddy, where she was describing what she wanted him to do to her, what she wanted to do to him, and you get the idea. Now, Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the sex trafficking, RICO, and other charges that he's facing. We'll see down the road whether or not her testimony helped the defense or helped the prosecution. We're live at federal court. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News. Steve and Natasha back.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. Or should I call you CP? But yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like so much fun. So much fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second. All right, get some rest, baby. Love. So if you come in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had was Dawn and ATL. See you put it together, baby.
Now, this is the thing, all right? They can't say that they was forced into nothing. He calling her his crack pipe. He's just blatantly disrespecting him. But the question I asked a lot of you women out there, if he was a regular 9-to-5, $35 an hour man, would she allow him to get away with this? Y'all notice what the answer is. Absolutely not. She did this because she sold her soul for the money. For the money. She did it for the money. There was things that she was willing to do because of who he was, the stature. She wanted to walk out on his arm, and she was jealous because he was taking Young Miami out on his arm, and he was just using her as an F tool. That was it, for his pleasure. That's what he was using her for. But she allowed him to do it because of who he was. Cassie the same. All of them. Why are we acting like we stupid? Diddy is guilty of a lot of things, but not this crap. Not this crap. Diddy was able to do the things that he was doing because of who he was and the idea of being with somebody like him. Because a regular Joe Blow, they wouldn't get a time of day at all. We know that, right? So now you have Boosie. Boosie chimed in and he started to speak on this. And about a month ago or something, he said, let's look at what he said. He said, I think the last straw was when Diddy and Carisha's relationship. When she saw Carisha with that sign supporting her man at that awards, that did it. A woman scorned is dangerous and evil, right? Then he came out and said, I told y'all, Young Miami had all them blanks sick. A woman scorned is evil. So, everybody was seeing this, but he spoke on it. He said, I think Cassie and her husband masterminded this takedown of Diddy and his money. I think her husband had been trying to get her to do this for years to Diddy, but she didn't want to do it because she knew what would come out. Then as a couple, y'all become broke. Now the plot becomes realer by the month. I think the last straw was when, he think the last straw was when they saw Carisha, the way he was treating Carisha as opposed to the way he treated them. And I've been saying this for a long time, right? That trainer was somebody that Diddy hired to work with her. Then he ended up screwing her. Then behind the scenes, they knew all this kind of stuff, right? So now they come forward with this, and it opens up the floodgates. But in opening up the floodgates, all the stuff that came out now, right? But DJ Academics was also speaking on this, and he was speaking on the situation with Young Miami. And he said some real interesting things. Check this out.
Yo, Young Miami. First of all, I'm not blaming nobody for Diddy's actions. If he's guilty of these things, he's guilty of these things. But I just want to say, I think you dealing with Diddy was the ultimate whistleblower. You fucked, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it could be a good thing if he's guilty. When Diddy started dealing with you, because you a chick that it looked like you one of them feisty chicks, and Diddy couldn't handle you like he handled Cassie, Gina, Kim Porter, the rest of them. The other women who've been through it, they took note, and they felt away. They saw you back talk. They saw you do all the things that Diddy used to slap them square in the mouth for. They saw all the things that what Diddy used to punish them for, you did, and he didn't bat an eye. They didn't like that shit. Then they seen him have a kid with another woman. And it emboldened them to not only file lawsuits, but it emboldened them to speak to the police. So to keep it real, if y'all wondering why Diddy in jail, y'all could thank Carisha. I don't know if she thinks about it like this, but she's the ultimate whistleblower. She's the one that showed people that Diddy only treat whoever he feels he could treat like that. Because when he get a bid for it, like Carisha wasn't going, like you could tell he couldn't give her no.
Now, all this is what the internet is speculating, and I think that I think there's some truth to that. I think had he tried to do all those things with Young Miami, maybe physically assaulting her and all that kind of stuff, her mom and like maybe her family, the FBA family, they're not going to go for that. They're going to speak out. She's going to come directly after him, and he knows that she's going to have the cards all in her hand because she sees all the other things that he's doing with these other women that's not fully black, right? So now if you got Young Miami going against you and she's co-signing all of the things that you're doing with these women that they're allowing you to do, right? Man, that would have just wiped you out. It would have destroyed you. But having Young Miami basically just stay out the way and not say anything at all or not go against you is a plus in his favor. So him not doing that, him not doing those things, and watch this. Women can't say, well, yes, he did, because you have Daphne on the stand saying that she was jealous of Young Miami because she didn't have to do all the things that she had to do to get the money, right? And all these women aren't black. So there's some truth. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's definitely some truth to it. And what DJ Academic said was, Carisha, you opened up the floodgates because these women saw the privilege that you was having to be in with Diddy and what they had to do. So they got mad and getting at Diddy, they blew open the doors. They said, no, she gonna get the same treatment we gonna get. Oh, we gonna take this whole thing down. And that's exactly what they were doing. But these are things that they all agreed to do. I don't think that Diddy should have been doing it, but they was all in agreement, setting up the shows and doing all kinds of stuff. She's saying that she went back. He was paying her rent. She was doing this for the money. So, as more of this come out, we'll report more of it. But it gets more interesting. Every time they get cross-examined on the stand, they incriminate themselves more and more and more. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all guys think. Like, you can not like Diddy. I don't like Diddy, right? But I still want a black man to have a fair trial. Just because y'all don't like him don't mean that he's guilty of what they're accusing him of. He's guilty of a lot of things. But this kind of stuff, no. So I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.